Hogwarts residence.
Okay.
There's something really scary about a guy with a knife who just snaps.
This was the first Scream movie I ever saw in theaters.
Go ahead if you have the guts.
Her face bugs me the whole time in the movie, and I don't like it.
Well, it's time for someone new to die.
It reminds me of the desperation Billy has at the end of 1.
Hey everybody, Jimmy with the Triple C Collective here, and I am really excited to bring you our new series. This is called Sibling Scream.
Hey everybody, Jimmy with the Triple C Collective, and we are ready to bring you part 4 of Sibling Scream, Scream 4 2011. And today with me is my brother, Eddie, and our sisters in cinema, Jodi and Becky. Everybody say hi.
Hi.
Okay. So so Scream 4. Scream 4 was released 11 years after Scream 3. Scream 3 is released in 2000. Scream 4 debuts in April 2011.
It's wild to think. It's wild to think about.
It's insane to think about that a whole decade is gone, and if I'm being honest, I see Scream 4 more of like the third chapter of the original of like Scream 1 and 2 because it's written by Kevin Williamson. Like he's back involved with it. I see it, and I see like Scream 3 as like the start of the off branch that leads to like Scream 5 and 6 and stuff. Because like Scream 3 is so wacky, and then like I'm not saying 5 and 6 are wacky in any way, because like 6 gets kind of brutal with the shotgun. Like whoa. But let me take it back to Scream 4. Still 11 years afterwards, and I like this was the first Scream movie I ever saw in theaters. How about anybody else? Everybody else see it in theaters?
I genuinely don't remember, but probably.
It's the first one I can remember.
First one you can remember in theaters? What about you, Eddie?
I didn't see it in theaters, and after rewatching it this last weekend, I actually think that it may have been the first Scream that I ever saw. Like, I think it was just on TV one time, and like I knew Ghostface and Scream was like kind of cool, and like, so I think I watched that first, and then I think that was like that made me be like, oh, I kind of like this. I'll go watch like the entire series now.
I'm very curious. Did that kind of skew your perspective from the original?
I don't know. I still like once I saw the original, I thought it was better, and like by not like a significant. I think 4 is a really good movie. I really like 4, but I thought 1 was like really, really good. So
yeah, 4 rules. Well, I mean, 1 is still the best, but like,
yeah,
I love 4. 4 is so good. It was like, and again, part of the reason why I like reevaluated Scream 2 is like when I saw it in theaters with Colin, like a theater experience matters to me. And it'll absolutely totally change my opinion of a movie sometimes. Or I will, even if a movie is like considered bad, I'll be like, well, it wasn't an awful time at like the theater, and I don't feel like I wasted my time seeing it in a theater, and that's usually like a win for me,
I agree. I wonder how much of it too, because I also love 4, and I wonder how much of it, at least for the 3 of us, is the nostalgia factor and the anticipation of it being 11 years. And with like, you loved this trilogy, you thought it was done, and then it comes back. Like, it is a great movie, but I wonder if a part of it is that too. Like, we can remember seeing it, like remember waiting for it. Like, I imagine that's playing into our rating too. It does for me, I think.
Oh, I think you nailed it. Because like, this is literally the time where like all of the franchises are coming back. Like, we get a new Friday the 13th, we get a new Nightmare on Elm Street right around now. Texas Chainsaw has like 2 movies at this point that have like come out. I think like Jessica Biel is even in one of them.
She is.
Yeah. So like, and then like even like a few years earlier, you're still getting like Romero finally coming back with like Land of the Dead and stuff. And like he's got, I think maybe Diary of the Dead right around here, which is like the found footage, like towards the end of the found footage, like phenom. And then you get everybody being like, well, horror kind of comes full circle almost. Like it went from like Scream being meta, talking about it. Then we get like the Eli Roth, like torture porn, for lack of a better term, kind of style of it. And then
Not for me.
No, I'm not. But like, it was a phenomenon. Like
It,
get
it
like,
was. Yeah.
like I like that first Saw movie. I like the first Hostel movie. I don't love it, but like Hostel 2 is like unwatchable to me. And like after like Saw 3, like again, they become unwatchable to me virtually.
Saw 1 and 2, I think, are great.
I like Saw 1. I actually think it's a really good movie.
So Saw 1 is good. Like despite the torture porn of it, it is really good because it's like spoilers for Saw, like when Jigsaw gets up in the middle of the room at the end of that fucking movie, you're like, oh
Yeah.
It was
shit.
It just was a whole new concept that we hadn't seen, and I remember just really, and it takes a lot to shock me, and I remember being like floored.
Yeah.
Like, and that's one of those things where it's just like, you know, that's what made it iconic, and then continue those movies for like the 10 of them that we got after it for the next like 15 and a half years or whatever. And but like horror franchises never die. Like they might go through some lulls, they might go through some stoppages and stuff, but like just like Scream, Ghostface is never really dead. You know,
generations of these super fans coming through, and they want to bring their perspective to what I consider a life-changing movie.
Yeah.
And I think around like the mid 2000s, I was just looking up what year House of Wax came out, and it was 2005. But in all those remakes and reboots you mentioned, there were like big starlets and like actors from the WB that were in it, and we see that in Scream 4 too, in a big way. So that's like another thing that started happening after the original trilogy, is you see these like famous faces you recognize from TV shows and other movies that are now starring in these movies.
Well, you got to remember, Scream 4 launches Emma Roberts into Scream Queens then a few years later. A lot of people think of her as like the Scream Queen show and everything, but like Scream 4, I think, is like 3, maybe 4 years before that.
When was American Horror Story
filmed? I think her American Horror Story is
Coven?
also after this.
Yeah,
Coven, I think, is also after this.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. I
This
thought that
is-
was the
It
first
does,
time
but even like the beginning, it's she was in some like teeny bop like kind of stuff. Like she was definitely a name, but this kind of put her into the, I don't want to jump the gun on the dialogue, but into this big, but like
Scream
horror,
Queen.
but she has a niche. She's she plays the same character, and she's good at it. She should continue to do it because she's really good at it.
I mean, I love Emma Roberts.
I love
Me too.
I think she brought a fresh spin to it, but I think circling back to the Hollywood starlet thing is the exact reason why I'm salty on Scream 4. I think I'm the only one that isn't a huge fan of this film out of all of us. I mean, obviously I enjoy it because I'm a Scream fan and I'll continue to like watch it. But I think that's what annoys me about Scream 4, because like even in the opening scene, we get 3 opening scenes, and it's just
so
I remember being annoyed. I remember being annoyed. I was like, because they even explain it in the book without giving away too much in the book. If you guys want to read it, everyone wanted to be involved with this movie, and it's almost like they tried super hard to get everyone as possible that was recognizable at the time, and I just thought it was too gimmicky.
So that's also the 2 openings I think is meant to be annoying, because like horror films had got into that like annoyance kind of point there. so that they're talking about the torture porn and like where things are, of like how you just don't care about characters, things are just like happening on screen, and it's just like, what is going on here? Why do I care that Lucy Hale's throat is getting cut right now? Like like you know, like why do I care that Marnie's part got cut way back? But like, you know, like, and that, however, what's her name? She's like, I got 135 IQ, and that's.
Yeah, I actually don't know that actress's name.
She's from Friday Night Lights. Her name is Amy Teagarden.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But I mean, like,
Got
even
it.
Kristen Bell is in the opening.
And I mean, I know, right? The voice of Gossip Girl, and she is. I mean, I love her and Anna Paquin, actually. And to be fair, Kristen Bell was supposed to like play, I believe, originally like the deputy, like Trudy or Judy, whatever character, but because of like delays in shooting, she she only gets switched to like an opening act, like, so because like she still wanted to be in it and was like, no, you said I could be in a Scream movie, I'm gonna be in a Scream movie. And like, so Wes was like, oh, okay, I'll kill you in the opening, you'll be one of our opening like death gals. And she was like, great, sign me up. And Anna Paquin was huge with like True Blood and X-Men at the
Blood
time.
was big
like,
at the time, yeah.
yeah. So like, obviously you were gonna have her as like a modern day TV like Scream Queen at the time.
Hi, I'm Jessica. And here's just a few things I really love about Scream 4. My favorite scene in the movie is probably the fake opening, because it's right off the bat. It's giving you the familiar, where it's opening with the kill, and 2 and 3 you got the kill from the stab movies. So you're going back to the kills from the stab movies, but then it's the kill from a stab movie within a stab movie of someone watching the movie, and it's just a whole kind of like dream within a dream feeling, but it introduces that there's new rules right away. So there's the same with a little bit of different, and I really like that.
I really like True Blood, but that show kind of fell off.
It definitely went off the rails. I liked it in the beginning too.
Yeah. But one thing, Becky, about that book that you told us, it's what's the name of that book? What's your favorite scary movie? Yes.
Your favorite scary movie?
By Ashley Cullins. That book, so when in my original research, I looked up and found that in Scream 4, Bob Weinstein reaches out to Craven, Williamson, and Kruger to all write a script. In that book that you told me to read and that you have, there's 4 other people that get involved for writing a script for Scream 4. And that, that blew my mind. For a total of like 7 writers taking a crack at this, it goes to a boring WGA arbitration. In the end, Williamson gets sole credit for writing it. So like, I don't know what, I know like Kruger gets a producer credit on it. And like in It All Began with the Scream, this book, they say they do it because like to just like humor Kruger, because hey, you wrote Scream 3 and came in and did that, so like we're just trying to keep you happy. But like, this is one of those things that like how did the Weinsteins make so many movies for so many years doing things like this?
Probably a whole other podcast.
I mean, you're not, you know what, you are not wrong. You are not wrong. But Scream 4. So anybody else have any kind of opening thoughts about Scream 4, or like the cat, or like even, I mean, we can kind of jump into the cast a little bit if we want to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good segue to talk about the cast, just bringing up the Hollywood starlets.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously we get our legacy characters back, Dewey, Gale, and Sydney. It's always lovely to see them all. As I said, Emma Roberts, Jill, amazing. Rory Culkin, like, as Charlie.
So good.
So,
Love a Culkin.
I love a Culkin. So it was kind of cool to see Rory get some spotlight, because I feel like he's almost like the forgotten brother.
I mean, you're not wrong. It like for me, it was definitely like, oh my god, that's another Culkin. Like literally, I remember seeing that like maybe in the trailer or like sitting down in the theater for the first time watching it. Hayden Panettiere, who like I like knew who she was, but I didn't really watch Heroes, and like so like I never really watched any of her stuff. If I'm being honest, this is kind of like my intro to her. And like I love her character of Kirby, like she's hilarious.
Kirby is one of my favorite characters out of the franchise.
Kirby's awesome.
Kirby.
My favorite character, I feel like it's probably a common one, but Kirby. She's just horror obsessed. She knows everything about it, about the whole like horror movie rules and everything. And it's different because it's coming from a female perspective. And she, I don't know, she's like just like the strong badass female, and it just sets her up perfectly for like who she's going to be. Like she questions things, and I like that about her.
I can't
Kirby's-
hate a Panettiere. I don't like the actress. Like her face bugs me the whole time in the movie, and I don't like it. And
Get out of
it's something
town.
that pisses me off and validates my
Well,
feelings.
I love Kirby.
The character, sure, she's fun, she's witty, she's bitchy, she's seems to be a ride or die for her friend, you know. But the actress, I just have a problem with, I guess. But I'm weird, so
No problem at all. I mean, to be fair, we also called Timothy Chalamet, I think, a stick of butter on our Academy Awards podcast because that dude looked like was in a single tone yellow at the Academy Awards, and he looked like a stick of butter, and it was wild sauce. But we also get Alison Brie as Sid's assistant, like Rebecca, I think is her name, and
Rebecca.
I love Alison Brie so
Me
much.
too.
Yeah.
Like Community, one of my all-time favorite shows. Her as Annie on it, like incredible. The fact that she was doing like Community and Mad Men because she's the dude's Pete wife on like Mad Men as well. So she was doing both of those shows at the same time, which is awesome. And she's just so cutthroat in this. like after all the killings and stuff, and it was like, see this blank line, name your price. Random wants to lock you in for $3. Just be the victim, Sid. It's fine. Just you win, you can give your money away, and then they win, and it's a win-win. And then she's like 10 out of 10.
She's my favorite Cam Fallon movie, I think, if I had to pick.
A couple extra things I really love about Scream 4 is Rebecca dying. Like, Sydney's publicist, I feel like that death was for the viewers. She's annoying, she doesn't care about her client, and she thinks it's all a joke. And then she gets killed in a dark parking garage. Like, good. Good for you. Did not feel bad about it.
The only...
You also got Adam Brody. That's a good one.
Seth Cohen, my boy!
Yes.
And so sign me up for Adam Brody in anything, like any kind of cameo, leading role, whatever it is. Like my boy Seth, like he was me, I am him. Like in high school, there's no like, I mean, literally aside from the fact that I grew up Catholic and he grew up Jewish, but hey, we got Christmas now, so like it's fine. It's fine. But him and Anthony Anderson too. Like I love Anthony Anderson when Anthony Anderson shows up in Transformers, which is also like kind of right around this time. Like I was like, oh my God, my boy, he's back. He's just showing up in everything now. And then we also got like that Eric Knudsen, who plays Robbie. He's another kind of like new main character that Charlie's little sidekick always.
And Becky, Nico Tortelloni.
Tortelloni.
Tortorella? Tortorello.
Yeah, I love him too.
Boy. Yeah. Jill's boyfriend.
Yeah,
or
really
ex-boyfriend who cheated on her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, oh my gosh, something we got to talk about. So in the opening, I don't think I ever put 2 and 2 together, But when we go to like Marnie and her friend, who are like the true opening kill of Scream 4, they're talking about, oh, is Trevor calling you? And that's something that I don't think I ever picked up on, that it's Trevor, Jill's ex, calling them, and that's why they're getting killed.
I literally just, it's on my TV right now, and I didn't even.
Like,
I don't think I put that together.
Today, when we were my wife and I were rewatching it before we were like running out for errands, because like I'm a psychopath and I watch Scream at 7:30 in the morning after I take my daughter to the bus stop.
Seems normal.
But like, so me and Jess are sitting here and she was like, huh, they're talking about Trevor. I bet you that's why Jill kills him, because she's the one that's been like cheating on like Jill with Trevor, and that's why they're getting killed here. And I was like, I don't think I ever put that together. Like,
Wow.
like I've been watching this movie for 14 years. Literally
you can
almost
always pick up something new.
But like, it's also funny because my wife and I started like dating in January 2011. So this would have been like one of those early movies in our relationship too, that I would have been like, hey, you like Scream, let's go see. Let's go to Scream. And we were still in college down there, so there was only one theater we could have gone to, unless we were like back home or whatever. But yeah, so Scream, love it, and that was something new that I didn't even think about. But now it's like, oh yeah, that ding 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 ding, that all falls into place. That totally makes sense and is like makes perfect motivation for it. And oh man. And it also makes sense then that it's Jill calling from like Trevor's phone or whatever, calling her friends, being like, like coding it, being like, hey, I'm really sorry, or make sure she knows I'm really sorry about stuff, to kind of give a cover or whatever. I don't know. Oh, my stuff fell again.
Oh, no.
That's okay. So when it comes to remakes, sequels, prequels, what do you guys do you guys have a certain definition when it comes to like a remake, a reboot, or what is it, a screamake, or a shriekwell,
a requel,
or something? But like in the movie they call it like a shriekwell or a screamake or something, a screamake or something.
I just watched it and I don't even remember.
When it comes to like a remake, a reboot, legacy, sequel, what do you consider Scream 4 kind of in the picture of the Scream franchise?
I think Scream 4 is a reboot.
Scream 4?
Because they're like, yeah, because it took like a decade, so like it was kind of off, and then
yep,
they make this one and it kind of starts again. Because I feel like a remake means like you make almost the same movie. I guess it's similar, but I don't think like it's not the same. Like there's no Billy or Stu.
I agree with you, and it's the same legacy characters. When I think remake, maybe the legacy characters might make like a teeny tiny cameo just to please the fans.
Yeah.
But they're still very much the center of the story, the legacy characters. So I agree with that.
It's like an extension of the original timeline, so it's not like
a
remake. It's
good point.
Starting off, or I think the aim was to create another like trilogy, but an extension of the first trilogy.
Well, yeah, that was always that's very true about Scream 4. This was supposed to lead into a new trilogy that never happened with Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven. And it happens because Kevin Williamson, after the terrible and awful experience of making Scream 4 and like just the pre-production into production, to get out of his contract that he had with Dimension and the Weinsteins, he gave up all rights to Scream. So like,
yikes.
he was like, I'm out.
And I don't think no one knew Wes was sick, but like I'm very curious if there's information out there if Wes knew he was sick and knew it was going to be his last movie.
So it's an interesting question because he does not pass until 2015, which is 4 years later. But I mean, like, he's also fighting cancer. So like, not to even try and compare one cancer diagnosis to another, but that's like almost the exact same kind of time frame that like Chadwick Boseman had.
Yeah.
To a totally different, like, Wes Craven had brain cancer, Chadwick had I believe like a colon or a stomach cancer.
I think it was pancreatic.
It could have been, yeah. But like killed within a few years. And so yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much they knew leading up into Scream 4 or just like kind of after it. But I like Williamson stayed in contact and was like still friends with like Wes, because even like Wes and Kevin for the like final act scene, like the final scene in the hospital and stuff, like Williamson like talks to like Wes over the phone, and Wes is like typing out Williamson's words to finish off that like last script, despite Williamson at that point being like, I'm done, no more for me, I'm out, like I don't want to be attached to this anymore, I just can't do it, you know, F the Weinsteins. And I get it, you know, those two sucked. For me, I've never considered this a remake at all. If I'm being honest, it's in that like it's almost in that reboot kind of sequel kind of lane. Like 4 and 5 are definitely of in the same vein, because it's like you bring back your legacy characters and stuff. None of them die in it, but like you also start up a whole new cast of characters that could lead into the franchise, like going further and stuff. And so like, you know, like it would have been really interesting to see like Jill continue forward, like what happens with her. What it like, if we get that trilogy, then do we see Hayden Panettiere come back sooner?
Yeah, I
in
think
the franchise.
in the book, I think with 4, they mentioned in the book that they really genuinely had no idea the direction that they were going to go, and the movie was continuously changing and being rewritten while they were filming, and they did toy with the idea of Jill surviving and playing that, like Sydney dying, Jill surviving, and then playing like that kind of spin-off, which I truly think I would have hated. It would have been interesting, but just wouldn't have been Scream anymore. Like,
there was also an alternate opening that they had for Scream 4 of how you know how Sydney has her like book event and like early on in the movie. Well, instead it's like the book event already happened. They're back at Sydney's house, and a ghost face attacks like her, Gail, and like, you know, like, you know, her assistant or whatever, because they're having like, you know, wine or whatever after, like, as a celebration of the book release. Just her small like tight-knit group. You would probably hopefully would have seen like Patrick Dempsey or something there, but they scrapped it. But in it, Ghostface attacks, she kills Ghostface, goes to a black screen 2 years or 3 years later, and then we just drop into the rest of Scream 4.
Yeah, I don't know. I even before reading the book, it just kind of felt like they were grasping at straws. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't. Again, like I said, I was entertained. I'll continue to watch it, but even the scene that kills me is like leaning way too hard into the comedy, where the one cop gets stabbed in the literal brain.
Anthony Anderson
throws like punches. I'm like, this bro just got stabbed in the brain, and they still are like throwing in like funny quips, and I'm just like they're trying to.
But for that reason, I liked it. So that's why I find it interesting that those of you that didn't like 3 like 4, because I do think 4 is almost a marriage of 1 and 3. Like, you see a lot of parallels with 1, but they really lean on the campy type humor that we saw in 3. Maybe not as heavy, but it's there, especially.
I mean,
with the end.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I'll say that I think the biggest things that I don't like about 4 are the kind of campy and comedy things that like remind me of Scream 3. Like,
Fair.
I'll be honest, the opening scene is like almost enough for me to turn the movie off. And then it just starts bouncing back like more and more, and there's like some funny parts. The Anthony Anderson thing is like, for me, it is like a little corny and gimmicky and stuff, but like Anthony Anderson is like kind of like a funny guy.
What brand
And
with
like,
the
so like for like it kind of works for me there. But it is like at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know. But I think because he's funny, it kind of works.
Well, I think it's interesting because I had this conversation, Jodi, with your husband over the weekend because he was like, Scream isn't scary. And I was like, no, the first one actually like was. Like, I remember being scared. But yeah, once you get further and further into the franchise, the scare tactic we kind of lose that. And it becomes way more gimmicky. And so it's just like entertaining for me as opposed to like a horror movie.
Deputy Perkins dying. Like, when he dies, Haas dies. Yeah, he gets offed, and then Perkins is freaked out, and he just gets stabbed right in the center of the head. And he's the one who said earlier, cops aren't gonna die. Like, I'm not gonna die. And Haas tells him, cops always die in a movie unless you're Bruce Willis. And he gets stabbed in the head, and he crawls out of the car, and he's fighting like nothing in the air. And Ghostface is just like a little bit of comedic relief in the background next to the car, just like watching him try to fight him but going the wrong way. And he falls down to the ground, and his last words are, fuck Bruce Willis. And it's just like, it's a little, I don't know, it's like a little like sprinkle of joy and just comedy of like just watching Ghostface be like, you're dead.
So
Yeah.
I will see your Anthony Anderson fighting scene, and I will raise you Olivia's death scene in her bedroom with her mother effing intestines hanging out on her bed, and say
It was a brutal scene.
that it went
Yeah.
back to the original first 2
Yeah.
in its brutality.
Oh, my favorite kill in the movie is probably Olivia. I feel like compared to the prior 3 Screams, her kill just feels different. Her friends are watching it, but they can't get to her to help her. They're on the phone with it. They can see it, and it's just so over the top. It's bloody. It's more like gory than we've seen in a Scream franchise before, and it feels like it's like introducing their like new rules, where even when they go into the room afterwards, there's just an over like absurd amount of blood everywhere, and they throw her out the window and slice her open. And compared to the very first kill in our franchise, where they turn off the lights on the patio and then they turn it back on and his guts are out, you see it happening, and it just feels different, and I like that.
It's interesting, Jodi, that you say it was a marriage of 1 and 3, whereas I am not saying that Anthony Anderson throwing his punches isn't funny, isn't ridiculous, or isn't camp. It's all 3 of those, and it's one of those things where it's like, I just look past it. Like, I kind of what Eddie said. It's like, it's Anthony Anderson, so like I'm just looking past that, because even look at Adam Brody. Adam Brody gets like just stabbed into the side, and he's kind of like tossed away simply. Like, they give almost Anthony Anderson the bigger role because he's the bigger name at the time, and I'm sure they were just like, do whatever you want because you're Anthony Anderson.
I just think with the original, like the comedy comes from just genuinely teenagers being teenagers and Stu making funny one-liners, whereas this is more like, I don't know, gimmicky. I keep using that word.
It is, but also I think I guess spoiler alert, like in Jill, like at the end and how crazy she's going, it reminds me of the desperation Billy has at the end of 1 when he's like cutting up the couch
Jill
Like,
literally throws herself through a glass.
she does. It's
Coffee
wackadoodle. Like
What?
3, but also kind of like 2 with Billy's mom, like trying to ram through the door. There's like
But we're
like
also
silliness.
fact these like 5'9", like teeny tiny little high schoolers, like
So okay,
all these people, like
that I
Yeah.
will say, if we're going to talk about like true flaws of the movie, Rory Culkin and Emma Roberts are not nearly as tall enough to match the guy who actually plays like Ghostface, like, and fair. Because you know what? That is super fair, and it's not really something that I noticed until doing like the critical like rewatch of this and trying to look into like the research and stuff, and like Ashley Colin's book mentions it. And it's and like when I was again rewatching it with my wife mentioned the Trevor thing, and I was like, man, they're right. They like they do their best to try and like put like Jill Roberts in like lifts and stuff, and like even if it's a wide or a medium shot, like you're not seeing past her knees basically, like in
they
anything.
talk about it in the book that they have to use like step stools for some of the actors, so they like because they want to try to make everyone look like they're the same height, so you don't guess who Ghostface is.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the
Because
person,
Hayden Panettiere is really short.
yeah,
Yeah,
even
that
though the person who plays Ghostface isn't any of those actors, so it's just like okay. So
so I'll give you that as a flaw. You're right. That is something that is a big one. If you're, I mean, and that's the point. Like when you're rewatching this stuff like so often and like trying to like do deep dives, you're only gonna get to like a nitpicky point, because I can tell you I never noticed the height really until this rewatch and stuff and like looking into it. But
5 and 6, I think it really bugged me in 5 and 6 because I was like, come on. So now as I'm like rewatching these, I'm like, Rory Culkin, like really?
There's a lot. I mean, the whole end, like hospital, like no hospitals in horror movies have staff in them. Like I was just finishing up the ending, like right before we logged on. I'm like, where's the staff? Where is anyone? There are gunshots happening. There's glass breaking.
Yeah.
My wife, who is a nurse at a children's hospital, literally flips her shit in every in like when again, spoilers if you haven't seen now Scream 4, a 14-year-old movie. But when Jill Roberts is like ripping her shit out of like all of her shit out of her arms, Jessica's like, that's not, the silence isn't real. That's not how this works. Alarms would be going off. 40 people would be in there because we're all thinking she's dead. Like, she's like,
and of course, cops would be everywhere. But anyway, my point being, we know we have to suspend disbelief for these movies.
Yes.
It's fun.
I agreed. Like I continue to watch them. I am entertained, but they're just like not like horror films anymore. They're just there for our entertainment. I don't know.
I guess I'm curious to see what they do with 7.
Yeah, I am very excited for 7 because like I did not like 5 and 6 at all. So, but obviously we'll get into that when we get into that.
Right. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the plot here. I mean, basically in the beginning, we got Dewey and Gale still together. We get our introduction of Kirby, who's just speeding down. 25, stay alive! Is it like, Dewey, I love you, man.
Like, the worst cop ever. He's the worst cop ever.
See, that's the kind of stuff that's actually like funny and like realistic to me because it's just like cute little like one-liners. It's not like cheesy like throwing my whole body into a glass coffee table and then being able to get up and walk away from it. Like,
but you know what? For somebody, it like, oh my gosh, like Jill's whole thing is absolutely wild. But I love it, and I'm totally like, well, yeah, she's got to frame people. She's got to show that she put up some sort of fight and that, like, she survived somehow. And if she's like,
it goes on forever. She takes another hand and like pulls out her hair, and, like throws herself against the. It's funny.
Ridiculous.
It's funny.
I love every second of it. Like,
I do like that
into
scene.
the wall with the knife.
Yeah.
That's great. Like the thud against the wall when she runs into the picture frame is like truly iconic. And like, yeah, it's almost something out of like a Looney Tune cartoon. So like, I'll give you the ridiculousness of it, but at the same time, I like she is literally mentally unstable. So like, and we've virtually seen it the entire movie. But like, it's also very funny when I was watching this. God, who was I watching? I might have been watching it with Colin, and like we're watching like Jill beat herself up and like scratch herself like that, and I was like, "See, man, that's why you don't cheat. Hell have no fury, like a woman scorned, man. Like, holy shit!" Like,
She is committed to the bit. She is going for it.
There's a whole documentary, in case anyone's wondering, on women who have cut off their husbands' penises. So check it out.
Becky taught me a word, penicide.
Oh,
I didn't know that was a word.
Wow.
Jill commits a version of that in this film.
Yeah.
That, I mean, let's talk about Trevor. Trevor's just like, I'm not saying Trevor's a good person by any means. I mean, you know, you play stupid games, you get stupid prizes, my guy. Trevor. And yeah, you know, you get shot in the dick, and it's like truly iconic. It again is funny, but like it's also well deserved. So it's not one of those things for me where I was ever like, oh man, this is like super like wild. Like we've seen, you know, guns be used and stuff. Is it always like, it's always funny when somebody gets like shot in the dick. Like South Park literally has an entire episode about a guy who can't shoot, and every time it's like Butters shoots somebody in the dick, and it's like one of the funniest ongoing like skits in that episode. Like it's so fucking funny. But like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a child, maybe I'm just a 36-year-old, like a 13-year-old boy in a 36-year-old man's body. I don't know, maybe I'm Tom Hanks now.
As wacky as she is, she has no hesitation. She just like like nothing. She
told her mom, and she's like, no loss there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
There. Yeah, she is not well. She is not well.
No. Jill
But
Roberts.
also, I think another criticism I have is like the motives get worse and worse every time. I feel like Billy had, not to say, I was going to say a genuine motive, not to say that that's an excuse to go on a murder spree, but like he had a genuine like motive. Maybe Roman did too. But she's like,
Jill's is like the same as Mickey's, but in a new generation.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Well, and to be fair, like Jill is like, this is 2011. So the idea of an influencer and like content creators and stuff and like live streaming everything in your life is literally just starting to happen now. These are not like words that are, in the lexicon that they are now 14 years later in 2025.
Yeah, I remember webcams being a huge thing when we were in college. Like our mom was so excited to get a webcam so she can like have like face-to-face calls with me while I was at school, and they were like blurry and just like
Skype.
But yeah,
Skype
it is
real.
meta. Like it was a criticism. Like Scream started as this very self-aware, like meta, and perhaps they were making some commentary of the times, you know. So it in a very heightened she's off her rocker. Like the way she doesn't need friends, she needs fans. Like it's bananas, but I like it.
I mean,
yeah, of course, I'm entertained. And I also like, honestly, I didn't even notice this until I read the book, but there's lots of small nods to the original. Like I didn't even realize this, but they dressed Trevor similarly as the dad, because he was kind of kidnapped and like stored in a closet the same way her dad was. Just like little nods like that. And like they dressed Rory Culkin to kind of match Billy, they said in the book. So it was like those little things, like there's a lot of attention.
Well, have you seen the blue flannel theory in the Scream movies? You never trust anyone in a blue flannel.
Talk about it.
Jill's wearing a blue flannel in this movie. Who wears it into? Does someone wear it into?
I think Mickey's wearing flannel.
It's not all. It might be Mickey. Might.
Mickey's
I can't remember if Billy does, and then I won't go ahead into the future films, but someone in 5 wears one, and I can't remember if someone in 6 does.
Well, they can't do it anymore because now people know.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Nice. Blue flannel theory. Excellent.
Or just like a blue, like, button down.
Well, now they're going to try to throw us off.
Yeah.
Oh man, if they start putting people in red shirts and start doing shit like Star Trek, I'm so in. Everybody in a red shirt automatically killed.
Green, blue flannel theory.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. So, well, one of them is a spoiler for 5. But here we got Jill and Rory. We got Billy, and then we got Jeff Quaid in 5.
Nice.
He's not one of my favorite killers, I'll be honest, but we'll get to that when we talk about 5. But also, they give us some red herrings. Look, we got Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
So they are aware, and they're... Oh, so does the boyfriend. And anyway, I'll put that down. But
so the blue flannel... I've never heard of that, so that's awesome. Just like how I never heard about that. I love these different theories that we're hearing about as we're starting to research and stuff. Like the Scooby-Doo theory of like Scream 3 and stuff. Like all things that I never really... Huh?
They bring that up in the book.
Yeah, the Scooby-Doo theory.
I remember being like, they brought this up and like I had no idea. Like I didn't even
know it was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we get Woodsboro, we get Gale the writer, we get Woodsboro High. I gotta ask, did you guys see the Easter egg of Henry Winkler in Woodsboro?
No.
Yeah. In Woodsboro High, next to Jill's locker, or where like Kirby is and like Trevor shows up, that bronze statue right there that you see for like 2 to 3 seconds max on screen is of Henry Winkler. They were gonna put it more prominent in the movie, but the commissioned like final thing didn't look enough like him, so they just like putting the side portrait of it to see if people would notice. And like it's a total like blink and you miss it almost kind of like moment. But like yeah, rewatch that first time when they go into Woodsboro High there, and you'll see it because it's like right there on the left of frame, and then they slowly move over a little bit, and then they just come back as they start like walking away from the lot.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, Jodi, you got to read this book. Eddie, you got to read this book. He wasn't originally credited in the first film because they didn't want to give away that he was in the movie, but his part was much smaller, and they didn't write in that he died until like way after the fact. But it ended up working for the final scene to empty the house.
Yep.
So just fun facts. I love fun facts.
It's one of the best things in the world that like they're like, yeah, we need somebody to die in the middle of the movie, and we also needed a reason for the kids to leave the house, and it's like, sorry, Fonz.
Yeah, we're doing Fonz.
But like like in those test screenings, like everybody loved him when he showed up on screen. Like everybody was like hooping and hollering, and like it was like devastation in the theaters, like, you know, when he succumbs and whatnot, and everybody's just like, no. So it's a great cameo to put in there, like, and it's so funny that they like, that they buried the lead with like Henry Winkler, and like, you don't think that, like, I never would have thought that that's like burying the lead or anything like that, because like he's kind of after our time. Like we're seeing like we see the resurgence of him basically with Scream and Adam Sandler movies like Waterboy and stuff. Like he just gets these little like side character like roles and stuff in a bunch of things, and he just kind of keeps on going for the next like 20 years after that. But one thing I do love, when asked what's your favorite movie, and Kirby's like Bambi, or what's your favorite scary movie? Iconic line. iconic line. What about
She's so good.
what about the police station with Gail,
And the
uh,
lemon.
Judy,
Judy.
and it's all over the internet, and everybody knows before I do. Dewey, that is like one of the like maybe my most iconic like Courtney Cox scene. Like I love it. It's
All over
just
the internet, and he's like, it is.
yeah, yeah, Dewey.
Can't hide things anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's so funny.
It is cute, not cute. I mean, funny seeing the the legacy characters like kind of adjusting to the new generation.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the stab fest scene when Gail goes there. Like that was, I think, just really smart and really clever. I liked that whole scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
That scene. I mean, let's kind of talk
Or
about
stabathon. That's it.
let's kind of talk about favorite scenes or favorite like deaths. Then Stabathon, great. That whole sequence is awesome.
Yeah.
It is like a dream of mine to hold like a movie marathon somewhere with like friends just to like watch a bunch of movies. I don't know how or where we would do it. I mean, I don't know if it would be like trying to find something for a weekend or whatever, but like yes, that would be amazing to do. I mean, I have a projector screen and a projector and whatnot, so like we can watch a big screen almost anytime we need to.
It's just funny, like as an adult watching it, Kirby like drives and she's like, I'll drink enough for the both of us. And I'm like, you drove. And I'm just like watching this as a 37-year-old, like, that's so irresponsible. There's murders happening just like in one. Like there's someone on the rampage and they're off like partying in the middle of a field watching scary movies.
Also a fake out. You think it's gonna be the final party.
Yeah.
Bloodbath. But it's not. I mean, how about that even? Like that was something that is a very good point, that like you think you're going to get almost like another 40-minute set piece in this house, or like in this case in this barn with the stab movies. And I got to say, just one little thing about the stab movies. The first one where it says a film by Robert Rodriguez, because Robert Rodriguez, Wes Craven, Kevin Smith, Quentin Tarantino, they all came up with like the Weinsteins in the 90s. Like they were all found, and well, not Wes Craven, but the other ones were all like found by them at like Sundance and stuff. And at one point when Wes Craven possibly wasn't going to come back for like Scream 2, they were trying to like court Robert Rodriguez to come in, and Kevin Williamson knew it was all BS because Kevin Williamson was working with Robert Rodriguez on The Faculty together. So he was like, I know Robert can't do that because this is a go green movie, and nobody turns away from a go green movie like that.
Another movie they're remaking.
Yeah. We'll see how much Williamson.
Yeah, Jodi, they're remaking The Faculty.
Yeah. I mean,
know that.
So at this point, why don't you remake bad movies? Stop remaking good movies.
I know, especially movies
I like
about it makes me sound like an old curmudgeon, but I'm like, A, it's too soon, and B, the Faculty is iconic. That cast,
those actors are still working. Like it's not old enough if those actors are still working and getting leading roles. Like, stop it. Sean Hannity just won an Emmy. Josh Hartnett is like back at the top of his game. Like, stop it.
Elijah Wood is literally a huge genre producer. Like, the only reason Elijah Wood doesn't like act regularly is because he's too busy giving people $1 million or like $5 million to make their own films where he will show up in a cameo role, and that's how they'll get the movie sold. It's like, oh, he's a producer, he has a role in it, and like, you know, he might die in the first 10 minutes, he might, you know, die in the middle of the movie. He doesn't really care. He just wants to like produce genre films because that's like what made him who he is. You know, like Lord of the Rings. I don't know if you get much bigger of a genre flick than that, but like, yeah, that's his way of giving back, and I love Elijah Wood.
It's very cool.
It's so awesome. I'm glad Josh Hartnett is back.
Elijah Wood when I was a kid.
Huh?
I had a crush on Elijah Wood.
She
when I
did.
was a
It's
kid.
true.
A big
I was
one.
there.
Excellent. Well, I mean, I hope you never watched The Good Son.
She
I
did.
love that movie. Love that
Well, he's not the bad one.
Yeah, I know
the
he's not
good
the bad one.
Speaking of
I know he's not the
Culkins,
bad one. I mean, right? Oh man, so good. Let's remake that movie now, right? Let's see.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good one we can remake. Yeah.
but maybe daughters.
Ooh.
I like it. I like it. We have gotten so far from
Yeah.
Scream 4 now. So getting back on onto our Scream 4 rails here. We've talked about Stabathon. I talked about Olivia's like death. We talked about the cops and stuff. Eddie, do you got a favorite death or anything?
Olivia's definitely.
Olivia's?
Throwing her over the window is like that was just kind of gruesome, but also awesome.
Yeah.
And the fact that they're watching it happen is
I mean, one of my all-time favorite movies that they're watching is Shaun of the Dead. And like Becky, I don't know if you're at that part in the book yet, but like they have quotes from Edgar Wright being like, it was one of the most touching things in the world to hear Wes Craven on the other line of a phone call being like, "Hi, Edgar. I was hoping we could use a clip of Shaun of the Dead in Scream 4." And he was like, he was just like, yeah, let me, he wanted to read the script to make sure that they weren't like tearing Shaun of the Dead like apart in like a mean way. And he was like, oh no, that's perfect. Yes, absolutely. This is an
what
honor,
a moment.
my friend. Can I call you friend? Like, we're friends now, right? Because like, again, like Edgar Wright, another amazing genre filmmaker who has just like done everything and anything. Shaun of the Dead is just like still one of my all-time favorite movies. I know he's made like better movies or like bigger budgeted movies, but like that movie's so special, and it's showing up in here. I think it's like almost the perfect like kind of nod to, because it's like it's one of those movies that if people are casual horror fans or deep horror fans, anyone can kind of like Shaun of the Dead, because like there's a lot of nods to other movies, but if you're just watching it, it is truly just a rom-com with zombies. It really is. It follows that stereotype of like character arcs and stuff, of like the couple being together, breaking up because the dude's a bumbling idiot and he's got to get his stuff together to show her that he's like worth it, and there's no better chance to show a girl that you're worth it than surviving a zombie apocalypse. And like, I mean, that's the simplicity of Shaun of the Dead. But my other favorite death I have here is also tied to my favorite line of the entire movie, and it is Jill's death in the it's a little bit of Jill's attack, like her attack, and then her final death, because the line is what makes it so good. But Jill getting like defibrillated to the head, amazing. Like, just
it's good stuff.
Just wild sauce. I love every little bit about it. So cool. You just see it going up and you have one word. What? Please? No. Clear. And I was like, well, that's 2 words now. You've got 2 words here, Gail. I can count. But like, that is awesome. And then her turning around and, Jill, you forgot the first rule about remakes. You don't fuck with the original.
Yeah.
And like truly, there is no better, like, no joke. I remember I like went wild when I heard that line in the theater. I know I did, because that was the moment for me. The entire movie, I was so wishy-washy on it originally. I was like, I like this, I don't like this, I don't know how I feel about this. And at that point, I was like my own worst enemy of watching movies. Like, the first time I watch a movie, I'm trying to like enjoy it and dissect it, and like I'm just like, my brain, my wires are all crossed, and I don't even know if I liked it like the first time, like that sometimes when I do movies like that. So then, like, but when I heard that line, I was like, nope, this movie is perfect. It did exactly what it needed to. It did exactly what I was hoping it would do. It had some laughs in it. It had some wacky moments. I'm not going to say that some of them aren't over the top or campy in them, like for sure. But I don't think that they were nearly like almost like the marathon that it was in Scream 3, which is like ultimately what I like. Like there's a joke almost like every 3 minutes in Scream 3, and that's just like that's trying to be a comedy. That's not that's at its heart, that is not what Scream is. Scream was always horror with a little bit of funny because of like literally the commentary of either the situation of the characters, or if you know like the horror films and horror movies that they're like kind of talking about or like homaging and like, you know, not necessarily mocking, but you know, whatever, then you just get it. You're all a part of it. But yeah, that whole like, you don't fuck with the original is just like forever one of my favorite lines ever.
It was perfect.
Perfect.
A lot of great one-liners. Sure.
Tell me some more. What are some other one-liners you got in here?
I just meant throughout the whole series. Like,
fair.
You know,
absolutely.
Like in Scream 2, where she's like, you're forgetting one thing about Billy. Like, I fucking killed it. Yeah, she's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's got to have the last word. I mean, it's not technically because Jill comes back, but when she's like, oh, or what does Dewey say? Like, oh, she was right behind me, and she was like, they usually are, and then she just pivots and shoots her. Like, the woman you are. It's so good. It's so good.
It's so great. I guess a couple of final questions here, or a couple final topics here we got here. Legacy of franchises. Like, why do you think we literally just kind of asked this question? We just kind of said this, like, why do we keep going back to the well? Why do they keep remaking good movies instead of remaking bad movies? I have my answer, but what do you guys think? What do you think?
I think they remake good movies because good movies already sold and people would probably want to see it again.
And people who are fans of the original are remaking something that they were like a huge fan of.
Yeah, and even if they don't like it, like they'll like to be able to watch it and be like, no, the original was better. Like they'll be right. like I like the original. Yeah.
And I think too, like especially with I'm sure every generation says this, but there's a huge like wave of nostalgia that is really being capitalized on right now. You see it with boy bands that are touring again, or even like pop punk bands that are touring again, and like even in like commercials, they're like bringing back old trends and old products. Like there's this huge wave of nostalgia that, just like you said, Eddie, like people are going to go just to check it out, even if they're hesitant, like even if they're not sure, but if there's the chance they might be able to see a character they really cared about or a story that they really cared about, just to see if it might be good. That makes money. It doesn't have to be good, it just has to make money.
That's just kind of what I was thinking, is that, you know, something worked before. The rule, even in the MCU, like I read the book The Reign of the MCU, Rise of Marvel Studios. Great book if you're interested in just like filmmaking and if you like superheroes and whatnot. But like in that book, part of like how they get the Hulk rights back and why they make the Incredible Hulk is because they're like, if we can get it at this budget, all sequels make just about what the first movie made, just a little bit more, about 10% or so less. And if you actually kind of like run the numbers, for the most part, that's true. Once you get into things of like sequels of like 5 and 6 and stuff, that's just like, it doesn't really work like that anymore. But what happened is that Ang Lee's 2003 Incredible Hulk made like $284 million. Their Edward Norton led Hulk made like almost $300 million like worldwide. So it actually made more because it was part of a new thing and like relaunched it. And even Scream 2 made $2 million less than the first Scream overall. Scream 3 is where they take a major dip, and Scream 3 is the first one in the franchise not to make $100 million like international, like both between the domestic and international box office. But yeah, Scream 1 made like 180 million or 178 million. Scream 2 made like 178 million or 176 million or something. So like, if you're gonna do a sequel and you can do it quickly like that, like you're almost virtually in history going to make virtually about the same amount, or in the odd cases you can make more. Like probably, no, I still think New Hope made more money than Empire. I don't know if Dark Knight made more money than Batman Begins though.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But I mean, I don't know, people didn't trust Batman for a while. All of that to say is like remaking, like are there benefits to them? Like, have you guys really watched like a remake, a requel, a legacy sequel of a movie where you're like, it went from something that was like kind of bad, like maybe mediocre to bad, to making it better? Or has it always just made it kind of suffer a little bit more? Feelings on like just that individual movie, total franchise, anything like that?
I'm so in Scream mind right now. It's hard to switch my brain
I'm
into
really thinking of
consider
like
others.
Final Destination, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that original movie I thought was iconic at the
Yeah,
time.
the first Final Destination's awesome.
But now that we're so deep into it, it's lost the plot entirely. And
That's
it's not even necessarily
I
even
think it's just maximized. There's not plot. It's just real, kind of like with the Saw movies we brought up earlier too. Like everyone agreed the first movie was actually like a good movie, and then it's just pure torture porn. Which, no judgment to people who want to go and see all that. Like the first one made me ill. I can't watch them. But like I think same with Final Destination. Like that, it went from like what was trying to be an actual movie.
It's
with
funny
a plot
that you
and
can watch
character
Saw,
development.
but you can watch Final Destination.
It's
Blood
different. It's
into
the
it.
torturing of people. It's not the gore. It's the torturing. Like I can't, like Hostel. That movie made me
It's not that
sick.
much torture.
It's just like someone having I have too much empathy, you guys. Like the idea of being in a situation where you're like, oh, I can either save myself or save someone else, and I have to cut off my arm while I do it. No, thank you. Like,
Well, to be fair,
cyanide
leaves
pill.
that open to interpretation. We don't know if the guy went back or not.
I don't even remember because I've never rewatched it, and I never watched any of the other. Like
He
can't
saws
do
off
it,
his
but that's
foot
just me.
and he says, "I'll come back for you." But then the guy gets up and like shuts off the light and locks the door. So I think you can assume that he either catches the other guy or the guy dies from blood loss looking for help because he has no idea where the F he's at, and he probably caught like gangrene from dragging his nasty ass stuff across.
to the point of the question, though, I agree with you. Final Destination totally shifted, but I think those movies are fun just for how like they keep trying to one up themselves in these crazy like scenarios. I think they're entertaining. I don't think they're good cinema, but I'll watch them.
I after the log, I think in what Final Destination 2 maybe. I haven't gone back because that, like, I have PTSD from car crashes, so like I like that movie like messed me
Fair
up
enough.
and like I have
Yeah.
never
Panic bad for me.
I have never gone back. I have watched those first two movies for sure. Possibly somebody maybe convinced me to watch the third one maybe at home, but I really don't think I've seen any more of that, and it is because of that log scene, to the point of like, to this day I will not drive behind any kind of semi truck that is open, that has a log, that had
Truck.
sticks or fucking concrete or anything
Nothing.
like
They
that.
already saw a scream hole go through someone's face.
That
in
happened in
Levever.
Scream 3, right? You know?
Yeah. And then in Thanksgiving, you have the boat go through someone's face.
Yeah.
I liked that movie.
Did I see that movie? I don't think I
didn't.
saw that movie, but
You
it is
didn't see it.
streaming. I added it to my spooky movie.
That's
Thanksgiving's
Eli Roth.
awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Thanksgiving.
a fun fact about Scream 2. The pole that goes through the cop's head, it was a dummy, and it wasn't supposed to go through the dummy's head, but it did. So that was an
supposed to go
accident.
through the chest, and like during that crash, the dummy moved, wasn't secure enough. Like nobody kind of really knows because it was a dummy, so like they don't it was like nobody was in the car, nobody was really gonna get like hurt with that. But yeah, it's one of those crazy things that it's just like it's way gnarlier with the pole going through the head than going through the chest, and that's just like one of those like happy accidents that happen on set and stuff. Let me ask this question again. We talked about why they don't remake or reboot a bad movie or anything because there was no audience. But do you think there is can you name a movie that you think is bad, like mediocre to bad, that could benefit from a reboot or a remake?
How would you define bad though? Like, did bad in the box office, or is just overall has a bad reputation?
Your own individual interpretation of bad. What you consider a bad movie? Because I want to know your interpretation of it.
I feel like some of the Tron movies could get maybe just more of an R-rated take instead of a PG-13 Disney kind of take. I feel like Tron it just seems like a cool idea. I don't know, it seems cool. But like those movies overall haven't been super
Yeah, the first
successful.
Tron movie's tough to watch now because it was like literally the first like CGI like computer generated movie ever. So it's just tough to watch. Tron Legacy though, that's a very underrated.
Is that the one with is Legacy the one with the Daft Punk soundtrack? Yeah, that one's
it's really good. It's better than you would think. Jodi, do you got one?
I'm trying to think.
Jodi's very easily entertained, so I feel like it's
I am. It's rare, even if I'm rating it like a 2 out of 5. I'm like, oh, I laughed, I had fun. It's very rare that I know I've seen things over time where, yeah, I like your point, like, oh, it could have really done with an R rating where they could have explored it more, or maybe in the hands of a different director, it really could have shined differently, or a better lead. But I can't think of a specific one now that I'm thinking about it.
I'm trying to think.
For me, I've got one. Drag Me to Hell, I love. Great horror flick. Originally a PG-13 movie. I think it could have been a little bit better had they been able to up the scares and terror a little bit to an R-rated flick. This usually happens with like the silly slashers as well, like Live Free or Die Hard. Perfect example. The original 3 Die Hard movies are all rated R. Live Free or Die Hard with I believe it's Timothy Olyphant as the bad guy and Kevin Smith as the wizard in it, and Justin Long as well.
You lost me at wizard.
What? There's a wizard in a Die Hard?
No. Kevin Smith plays a character called the Wizard,
Oh.
and he's just a computer hacker in his like mom's basement.
I thought you were talking like a magic wizard.
What?
No.
That's awesome.
Me.
That's awesome,
Sure.
though. But yeah, so Justin Long, Bruce Willis, are like, it's like a buddy cop adventure for them. But what it actually has to do, it actually has to do with a lot of like hacking, stealing identities, and like kind of like digitally stealing everybody's money and whatnot. So really, it's a movie that was probably about 4 years ahead of its time, if I'm being honest. Like on the rewatch, like I appreciate it way more because all that tech stuff that they're talking about in it just makes more sense now than it did then. But without a doubt, that movie is absolutely hurt because you don't get a yippee-ki-yay motherfucker in it. Well, you do. It's like the last line of the movie, and it's still kind of muffled. But it's like if you just made that movie rated R, you get a little bit more action, you get your classic yippee-ki-yay motherfucker, and everybody is happy. But like, you go PG-13 so that a little bit more people can see it, and a lot of people didn't go see it because they were like, "Oh, you neutered it. Like, why would you do that to Bruce Willis and like John McClane and the Die Hard franchise?" Live Free or
Fair
Die Hard,
point.
though. That's another one. If it was
I
rated
think-
R, I think it would be better.
I think Ghost Rider also.
Nick Cage.
I
Good
haven't
call.
seen any of these movies.
Ghost Rider. I think Green Lantern, but not with the Green Lantern that was just in the Superman movie. They like, which is kind of sad because he was fine in the Superman movie, but I couldn't watch an entire movie of that Green Lantern.
Yeah, buckle up, Buttercup. He's got a TV series coming.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll.
I mean, he's one of like 4 Green
Rogen in
Lanterns
Green
in it.
Lantern?
Huh?
Isn't Seth Rogen in Green Lantern?
No, Ryan Reynolds.
What movie is Seth Rogen in where he's like,
Oh, the Green Hornet. Sorry.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew something with green.
Yep. No. And that is a wacky movie that it's really surprising that like Seth Rogen liked it, but that was one of those shows that he watched that was on syndication from the 60s, like Batman 66 and stuff.
Like
And
a passion project, like a personal passion project.
originally
for him.
Kevin Smith was hired to write and direct it, and then it just kept getting like pushed back, and then they offered it to Seth Rogen to like write it and like star in it, and we got that movie. It's fine. It's fine. Seth Rogen has way better movies. Pineapple Express is probably a better action movie too.
So good. Pineapple Express is actually really good.
Let's ask this question because we're kind of here already. Franchises, IP in general, like Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street, MCU, DC movies, anything in between, Mighty Ducks, love it, hate it, want a better spread of it.
Of what?
Franchises,
Like
IP, or like, do you love it or hate? I guess maybe, do you love it in the sense that you're getting the things that you want to see? Do you hate it because you wish you could get a different spread, maybe some more original movies instead of just seeing a bunch of franchises turned out, whether they're every other year, 10 years in between movies, you know, like
way too trendy, and I would love to see way more like original ideas. I think more recently I've started to be like turned off on it because like they tried to bring back Sex in the City with And Just Like That, and like it just.
But you watched it.
Oh, of course I watched it, but it was horrible. It's because I'm attached to the characters, right? So like you said, we'll come back and watch it, but it's like I think it ruins the original.
I agree. I have been feeling, I feel like in the last like 3 to 5 years that I need more original movies. Because I feel like the original movies that come out too are like the ones where I'm like, yeah, that might have been the best movie. Like it's never like it's never a remake or like a franchise movie where I'm like, oh, like that should win Best Cat. Like, no, it's always an original.
You're right.
It does eventually get to the point where it ruins it for sure.
I'm a loyal bitch, and I like to see the characters that I like. And so there's like these two parts of me that agree with what you say, like let a good thing just be where it's at. But then there's the part of me that's like, but I will watch it if it comes out. I watched And Just Like That till the bitter end. I will watch every Scream movie that comes out for as long as they come out. But yeah, of course, like when I was just scrolling my letterbox to see if I could find something that I think could have been improved. Like all the originals that I've seen and like the original kind of concepts have been some of my favorites that I've seen this year. So
yeah,
I think we need more originals, but I'll still watch my faves.
Maybe just the older I get or the more that I become involved with movies and stuff, like I want opportunities to be given to younger, newer, up and coming directors, writers, actors, and actresses. So it's a little annoying to see these like big actors and celebrities keep getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity when there's so much great new talent that we haven't been exposed to yet.
I mean, so that's a really interesting thing because you see that basically all the time in a kind of new idea that studios will be excited about when things aren't really proven. Going back even to Dick Donner's Superman in 1978, I mean, going back even to Jaws in 75. Like, you got Robert Shaw there. Like, he is no scrub in 1975. Like, the man had been in a great deal of very powerful movies, giving great performances. Roy Schreider, also another dude, huge thing. Richard Dreyfuss is probably the guy who's got the least credit to his like name, along with like Steven Spielberg at that time. But it's you get Gene Hackman, Marlon Brando around Christopher Reeve in Superman. You get Alec Guinness put up with matched with Mark Hamill in A New Hope. Like, Alec Guinness, again, another all-star, just like one of the best out there to ever do it. And he's showing up playing these things, giving these gravitas to these wild ideas. And the wild person that you get brought into Scream to give it like that real feeling to it is Wes Craven. Like, that's what gets Scream basically. Like, Kevin Williamson's script is great, but it was never going to happen until Wes Craven said no 3 times and then said yes.
The original Scream, they got like a big name like Drew Barrymore, but they instantly kill her, and the stars of the movie are these up and comers that no one has heard of.
Mm-hmm.
And you know whose idea it was?
Drew Barrymore's.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about just knowing you in your career of like what is right for you. And like that is such a tough call, being like, nah, I don't need to be this lead. Kill me off in the beginning and it'll mess everybody up. And it absolutely did. Mm-hmm. And like, so that's why I do agree. I think the 2 fake openings in Scream 4 is too much.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being honest, I could have done with just 1 fake one and then the real one, or just the real opening, and like I would have been fine. I get that they're trying to like comment on everything rebooting, changing, and blah 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 blah. Like, I understand all that. All of that is fine, but I need it to be done.
I just hope they put this back on our heads with Scream 7. Like,
I'm super stoked. What about calling out the future? We talked about it a little bit. The live streaming, the social media, influencers, needing fans, not friends, film everything. I mean, like, rewatching it, I was just like, it blew me away. I mean, we are literally doing this now. Like, this podcast is going to be up on YouTube and stuff, like, of us talking about Scream 4. And like, in 2011, I wasn't even really thinking about podcasts. Like, I was listening to some, but I didn't really understand how to do it.
Like, we had iPads and Blackberries. We didn't have iPhones. Well, I guess iPhone was out.
Yeah, but like, all of that stuff is early. Like, at that time, it was like you had to get a laptop, or like have a laptop or a computer, or have microphones, and like have like a little mixing board and stuff, like, which is things that I would get from about this time going forward for like the next like 4 or 5 years, and start like early practice before I was like, oh no, put yourselves on film and then just duplicate the audio file, and then you're good to go, and you can make an audio, and then you have your video, and you record once. You get 2 files for 1 recording, and sometimes it's too simple. but people don't always talk about it. But it blew my mind away. I mean, does anybody else have any other comments of the influencers or any kind of thing? Like, I called it the calling of the future. Like, that's the name of the tab that I put out in the doc. Like,
No, I think it was pretty on the nose, and I don't want to say like predicted the future because that's very much where things were trending, but I think it stuck with the spirit of Scream and was calling out like some of the stuff that was happening at the time. So,
well, and like,
it's freaky.
And they even talk about it in the movie, like, or maybe it was in one of the books or something, but it's like social media being its own kind of mask where anyone can hide behind it, like, you know, like social justice warriors or like keyboard warriors or whatever you want to say, like that. You know, because then like how many times are people, is it like, oh, you would really say that? Like, would you say that to my face? Like, and then they're like, no. And it's like, all right, well, like, okay. how, how how much do you really believe in what you're saying then? How much can like you do that or whatever?
Do you have any predictions for what they're going to do in 7? Do you think they'll bring like some sort of futuristic spin to the motive?
It will be very interesting to see. So they've always had the voice recorders and stuff, but it'll be very interesting to see if they do anything AI image based too that they bring into it. I hate AI with like a burning passion. I think AI and creativity. Like, if AI wants to cut my grass, fold my laundry, like do my dishes, cool. Do that stuff. Me and my wife would love it. But I don't want AI making my movies. I don't want AI writing my comics, writing my books, writing my audio books. I don't want AI anywhere near art. AI is no, it steals.
I do think we're in for some AI, especially with the casting that we have for this movie for people who are dead.
Well, I mean, like, I'm wondering if like a villain will use like an AI kind of like imager to be able to get around, and that's almost like talking like Mission Impossible kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So like what am I really talking about here? Scream has never really been like that high tech. They've always gone with whatever tech has been around at the time of them filming. So
correct.
So it's like, yeah, we've always had the voice recorder and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what they would do for something like that if they make it like I mean, I guess you could even make it like kind of like a web Zoom based kind of thing, and then that's where you can fuck with filters and stuff all day long. I don't know.
Guess we'll have to tune in.
Like Scream 7, they have to tell us about Melissa and Jenna, like why they're gone. They have to acknowledge it. And then basically I would assume something's going to go down in Woodsboro to bring Sydney out of hiding again, like from wherever she is. Because that's the thing. Like that's always the calling card almost for Sydney to come back. Something is happening in Woodsboro. And then she's like, because even in this one, you know, like she's going on her book tour, but she's been like away from Woodsboro. It's the last stop on her tour for like as Rebecca says, on the next step of her life and everything like that. So, yeah.
I'll wait.
We'll have to wait and see. I guess, any final thoughts on Scream 4 here?
I got nothing.
Yeah.
It's fun to see everyone come. I remember being very excited at the time. I still have warm thoughts and feelings about the movie today. You know, I think it's a good addition.
I love that this movie comes from the idea that there is no such thing as a bad idea, or keep every idea you have for yourself, even if it's not used. Because Williamson used bits of his unproduced screenplay or outline basically from Scream 3 for this. Like, the returning to Woodsboro, the kids growing up in the shadow of like the original murders and stuff. So I really love that. And like I love that idea of that story. And like unfortunately for Scream 4, we don't actually get like, you know, the Matthew Lillard Stu guy like pulling the strings. I actually like that it did go back to like the kids being like the messed up killers and stuff of it, as opposed to like you know, I know they're kind of like more so adults in like Scream 3, but as opposed to like Billy's mom in Scream 2 or Scott Foley, you know, in Scream 3, like I like that it was back to like the kids and stuff like going and like, which is still like a tough time because like that's still after like, you know, Columbine and everything where it's still like kind of touchy subjects. I know I kind of said it before, but I think of Scream 4 at like, for me, it's Scream 1, and then it's Scream 2 and 4, like tied right there for my number 2 spot. And then it's got to be Scream 5, and then somewhere it's 3 and 6 for me. I like, I just love Scream 4 so much. Like, I loved it. I know I love the theater. It's just so good. Sydney's line of like, you don't fuck with the original. It's just too perfect. Yeah, I love Scream 4. Anybody else? Final comments?
No.
All right. I am Jimmy with the Triple C Collective, and I want to thank Eddie, Jodi, and Becky for joining me. Say bye.
Bye.
We hope you all like and subscribe to our video and to our channel. Stay safe, and I don't know. I guess we'll see you in the sequel, the requel, the legacy. I don't know how we call it, but we will definitely see you all back for Scream 5. And stay safe.